Remix. 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 Remix.
Oh, yeah. Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media. In case you didn't know, I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, bringing you that boom bap breakfast. Just us, not just me, holding the D. And we are going to do it for you, celebrating our 5th anniversary, our 5th year. Don't fear, yes, we are here. So we're going to keep giving it to you like we do, all right? So with that said,
rough and tough and all that stuff. I make you dance and spread till you huff and puff. There's just no way you can get enough of me. Yo, Mr.
let me introduce you to no other than the one them called Jackie Luma. Hey.
Good morning.
Long morning already, huh?
Man, you know, dog and cat owners, there is a noise that our pets make that will wake us up from the deepest sleep. And when they make that noise, nothing in the world stops us from freaking out. It's that noise, that pets make when they're about to throw up.
Right.
I don't have a bird.
I know. See, I don't got no pets. See, I'm up here trying to make up shit. There's a reason why I don't have a pet, man. I just too much.
I mean, I thought we were gonna have to run to the emergency room because this dog, he never gets sick. If unless he really has eaten something bad. And I watch him pretty good because the last time he got sick, he snuck something that he shouldn't have eaten. And poor thing, he was miserable for a couple of hours this morning, but it finally all came out. And then he was like, okay, I'm tired. I'm going to sleep now.
Oh, he rolled up in the corner right about now, huh?
He is. So he's okay. I figured out what it was that made him sick because it came out.
Oh, okay. Well, big up to Kamafi. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a lot. Oh man, I am tired. But I'm here. It's been a busy week. I had a
yeah.
Yeah.
What you do yesterday? What happened? This sounds better than the Kamathi is sick story. What happened? What happened? How much was the bail?
Oh man, it was none of the above. I DJ'd a comedy show. So sometimes there'd be a lot of drinks going around doing comedy shows.
Say no more.
I couldn't make it, Jackie. I was fighting my pillow. I was like, let me up. But you know what I did?
What?
Oh, first of all, yeah. So yeah, I had a comedy show. It was good at this place called Filling Me Up with Laughter. That's the name of the comedy show. We do it once a month at this restaurant. It's pretty dope. It makes me want to do a 5-minute bit. Like somewhere you don't think I got 5 minutes? I can talk about politics for 5 minutes, and I swear, I bet you I get some people to laugh. It had to be the certain.
Sure, you know what? You're right. You will. You absolutely will.
I can talk about the different branches, tree branches, executive, all types of branches. You know what I'm saying? Olive branch. See, I got you already. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that I did an open mic last night, and that was good. Tonight I got to do a gala. How do you pronounce that? You would know better than me.
Yeah, I don't really know because I don't go to them. I don't.
No
Yeah.
fancy cocktail dress for you.
I
When the last
mean,
time you put on a fancy cocktail dress, Jackie? Damn.
my wedding maybe.
Wow. When I come to DC, we going out and we gonna get fancy.
I,
We gonna
okay.
get fancy. Listen, I
Okay.
don't care if everybody else is dressed casual. We are gonna get fancy. Sometimes you just gotta pop out and show niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's
I
a good
mean,
feeling. I'm telling you, Jackie. It's
I like dressing up.
mm-hmm.
I don't like I if I'm gonna do all of that, I gotta have a good time. And usually when I've done these, galas in the past, but they were also usually work related. So of course they
uh,
weren't fun.
oh,
They were interesting watching all my white coworkers get crazy drunk for no damn reason. And
uh, see. Okay, well, you're gonna have to come down to the 8 of one of ours. Like the last
Okay.
one we did last year, we had Jagged Edge. The one before we had 112. So we had different performers,
Mm,
we give out a bunch of scholarships to a bunch of students, and
mm.
it's a real good feeling, good entertainment. I'm DJing. I mean, come on.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
guess
yeah,
that's
so
a draw. I'll
yeah.
think about it. I'll
All
think
right.
about it.
All right, because it's cool. But other than that, man, yeah, we got a good show today. I'm glad you held it down yesterday, you and Renee. You held it down for a minute. Yeah, I mean, you used to doing it. That's how you do
I
it.
mean, pretty much. I mean, I don't this isn't like some inherent thing. That's a result of Abdus making me do.
Mm, big up to
Just,
Abdus.
that was he would just, sometimes it'd be like, no, you do it. You do it tonight. And he just sitting off on the side. Mhm.
In
Mhm.
love,
Mhm.
all in
Keep
love, just
going.
looking at
Keep
you like your biggest
going.
fan.
Yes, listen, that's very real, and I've been missing that a lot this
Mm.
past I guess couple of years, but yeah, it's
Well, you got a lot of fans now. It ain't that fan, but you definitely got a lot of fans now. People got love for you. I don't want to say fan, but people
appreciate
got
that.
love for you. I fucks with you, Jackie. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
thank you.
I mean, I
You're
don't
so
fuck
nice.
with everybody.
This is true. I know.
I
This
really
is
don't.
true.
I really don't. Yo, so we got at the top of the hour, we all gonna have our hip hop story, and then we also gonna have special guests talking about a documentary that's coming out. We got
Mhm.
Kim Brown coming up. You know, she has to be late.
Don't you
Just to
slant, don't you ah,
Jackie, we've been doing this for 5 years. What time does the show start? I'm just, I'm confused. Pick up the Glorilla. I'm confused. Wondering.
Listen, man.
And
Thursdays are tricky.
yeah, it is. And then we got to get ready after this at 11 o'clock to do this Stevie Wonder's pin. So y'all got to come back for that. Stevie Wonder done writ a lot of music for different people that you might not know, but you're gonna find out if you tune in at 11. Bam.
He did what to a lot of music?
He writ a lot of music.
Mm,
You
that's
don't
what I
say.
thought. That's what I thought.
He wrote. Is that better?
Yeah.
God damn. Ah, yes. You know, my ego is not too big where I can't be good, you know, corrected. I like
Your
it.
ego is ginormous because you're a
What?
puppet master.
How you figure? I just like to put people in place. What are you talking about, a puppet master? That's what puppet masters do. Put people in place.
Yes.
I don't look at it that way. I look at it like I have a good idea And people were like, you
Mhm.
know what? That's a good idea. I'll follow along. That's all it is. I
Wow,
proposed the
follow
idea.
along.
I proposed the idea before
Okay.
everybody else, and they say that's a good idea. Let's do it.
Mhm.
You know
Mhm.
why? You know why,
Why?
Jackie? Because I'm not
Why?
scared for people what people think. So therefore, I go ahead and blurt it out. I'll go ahead and this
Oh,
is what we should do.
mhm.
And they be like,
Yes. Okay.
so you're welcome.
And they'd be like, I don't know what that word is, but yeah.
I see how you read it.
Please stop. I can't take this no more after that damn Nature Boy documentary. I can't take no more.
Yo, I gotta see that. I gotta see that. Where did it what state was this in?
It was in a bunch of different countries and they ended up in Atlanta.
Oh, I
Uh
believe it. I believe it.
and I didn't even mean that as an insult. That really did happen.
I believe it though. I believe it.
I'm sorry.
Yo.
Me and Renee talked about it yesterday,
Oh,
but
okay.
I am still just like, man.
Oh, we got a producer in the chat room.
Uh-huh.
Done and none. Are we able? Okay. That's French. Are we able to discuss that Supreme Court verdict and the ramifications downstream? It is a watershed, but will affect people.
Yeah, I have something to say about it, but I don't know why people are surprised. I mean,
We'll save it for the news segment. God
yeah,
damn, Kim.
can you just what's our thumbnail? What's going on
Oh,
with the
okay, yeah.
thumbnail?
Let's do that. Yes, I'll tell you, boy. We got a whole show coming up. The show.
Ah, ah.
Yes. Good old Dana White. You know, he's a UFC guy, runs the UFC. And he was at the dinner the other night. And pretty much she was like, yo, that shit was fucking awesome. The whole shootout. And I called it the show because sometimes in some of these sports it's a whole show. And
Just like that shooting.
yes, it was a whole show. And that's why he was like, yo, I'm not even in fear right now. This is fucking awesome, yo. I'm part of a TV show. This is like a real TV show. So I get it. I
I
get it.
mean, this whole country is a damn reality show. This whole thing, I am, man. I don't know. Maybe I need to travel around some more and see a different feeling of reaction than what I am feeling, because
Mm,
I'm not feeling like people are pissed off and enraged enough about what the hell about what this place has always been. Like, okay, now you're finally seeing that this idea of checks and balances and laws and the rule of law and law and order
mm,
and all of this myth of this grand democracy and all of this decorum. Okay, now you see that this has always been exactly what this is, because it couldn't be this easy for him to do all of this extra stuff if it wasn't ever possible for it to be done,
yeah.
right? It just so I'm just, man, I'm
But
just like, so
Jackie,
y'all are just gonna let this ride, ain't you? Y'all
Jackie,
ain't-
they've been preparing us for a long time on TV with shows like Scandal, with shows
Mm,
like House of Cards,
oh
with
wow.
all these political shows that's showing you that they make all this shit up and they got whole teams hired to make shit look like it's real. I mean, they've been doing it for a minute, so I'm not surprised. Oh boy, having
I mean,
trouble with
so
my computer.
so so you think, huh, so you think
Mhm.
um pop culture has had an effect on how we engage in politics in real life, like political TV shows, like the ones you mentioned, and others. And those, like I watch Scandal religiously for the
Oh,
first
that was
couple of
so good,
seasons,
so good.
and after a while, it's like, okay,
Yeah,
all right, sis,
yeah.
can we?
Here goes the. Well, I would not do this. Especially the father. When her father came through, oh, I loved it when her father came through. I would not go. Yo.
They had that script like he said everything but, and for a white man.
Yeah. You better understand.
He
I
walked him
raised you a
right up
certain
to
way.
that line for a whole doggone season.
Yes. Yes. But
I
yeah.
think that is, I think that's a really interesting and a very, I think it's very accurate, because I thought it was interesting that it was this proliferation of those shows.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and while we always talk about, look, entertainment is not just entertainment. It
Mm-mm.
never is. And yeah, I think you're on to something.
I
Um,
mean, it makes sense. It makes you not believe in the political system. It makes you not want to vote. All these different things. It's like this shit ain't real. That's why nobody's like, I don't believe in politics. And then it's always one of the things being left out the room. We can't talk about religion. We can't talk about politics. So it's not being talked about. And then when you bring it up, it's like, oh, here come this bullshit. So
but do you think though the television shows have people feeling that way more than the actual politicians and
yeah, because they
and the
want people.
actual, like, because people are looking at what actually happens in politics,
Mhm.
and they're saying, oh, damn, those shows were actually true. So I mean, this shit is a lie.
Yeah.
All of this is a, so do you
You
think
think more people watch those shows than they watch the news?
you think? Huh.
I
I never paid much
see
attention to
you're a
it.
different brand, Jackie. You gotta take yourself out of your shoes and be like, okay, I'm gonna come home after a long day of work and watch the news and be more depressed. Or I'm gonna put on something where I can be in a fantasy. Like Ricky, she watches Atlanta Housewives. Let me be in the fantasy world instead of the real world, and that's what a lot of people do. So they like fuck
Yeah.
politics. I don't want to hear none of that bullshit because there's nothing I can do. And if I try to vote, it don't matter. You know why? Because they already got who they're gonna have to win is gonna win. So this is what we're dealing with every day when we come on and talk to people. So that's why we can't just stay in the echo chamber. We can't just feel like we just gonna talk to each other. We gotta go past if we're gonna get some people that's really like, all right, let me open my eyes. Maybe I'm
Mm.
wrong, but I'm usually not. Anyway, so
Well, I think that
mhm,
it's a combination of both. But I think
mhm.
for most people, because remember, those shows are long gone. They're not, yeah, people can go back and watch
Oh
them.
yeah, definitely.
But shows like The West Wing, and I really hated The West Wing. God,
I
I
never
hated
got
that
into
show.
that one. I never got into that
Oh,
one.
Jesus, I hated that show because it was a whole Democrat psyop. It was,
Uh,
the Democrats are the ultimate good guys, and America is great because
mhm.
oh Jesus, it was just a liberal. Uh, it was a liberal lie fest.
And when we talk
But
about
those,
propaganda, it's
mhm,
so much.
yeah.
And then we talk about even watching who are our heroes in every show. Who is our hero? A cop, a ex cop,
Mm,
somebody that
mm,
worked in the Marines and now they out and they helping. It's always somebody that's a ex cop or something that is the one that we're rooting for.
mm,
Even when it's somebody like let me give another example. Uh Black Panther. We rooted for Black Panther. We should have been rooting for the AKA villain that was like, yo, we got all this weaponry. They've been killing our people for years, and y'all sitting back in the cut just watching?
rooting for the CIA.
Exactly. That is
Oh,
what
that's a good CIA agent.
yes. That is what we are programmed. That's the propaganda that we always rooting for the cop, the home team. They do a
Well,
great job. I mean, these motherfuckers do a great job, and we go right
well,
along with it.
all of us, all of we don't do that, because when Black Panther came out, they
Mhm.
they people hated seeing us coming, because we were like, okay, it's a nice movie, but y'all calm down, because
Mhm.
this is some serious, indoctrination going on here. Y'all got y'all kids rooting for the nice white CIA agent. What?
Man, I tell you.
You
Even
know,
I
so
mean,
yeah.
even the X-Men, the mutants. I ain't. I'm going too far.
Wait,
I'm going too far.
wait a minute. What the mutants? Hold on.
Okay, so Professor
We're
X was
supposed
looked at.
to.
Professor X was looked at as the good guy, and then you had all the humans. A lot of humans is like, yo, man, fuck all that mutant shit. And what was his name? The magnet dude, the other guy on the other side,
You almost had it. Magneto.
Magneto. Exactly. He was looking at the bad dude and he was like, yo, I'm trying to get all my mutants together so we can work together and do this thing. But we like, nah, fuck Magneto. We down with Professor X and the X-Men, and it's going out here and stopping mutants from being mutants. It's just always like that. Just
Hold on.
peep.
Wait a
Just
minute.
peep.
That's not even the story. X-Men. Professor X wasn't stopping mutants from being mutants.
No, he wasn't stopping. He was trying to
No.
work with the humans and everything. But
Okay, that's a whole
Magneto was
nother.
like, yo, fuck
You
them
you
humans, man. They don't
are
like
you
us.
talking? Are you talking about the movies or the comics? Which one you talking about?
Oh
Because
my
it depends.
goodness. Sweary Fairy says, for once, ear doctor, I'm in full agreement with you. If I got Fairy to
uh,
yeah.
like I said, we got to categorize because
Yeah.
are we talking about critiquing the movie or the comics? Because you have to understand, the movies were not completely faithful to the comics, because the
Mm.
CIA agent in the comics was a clown.
Hmm.
He was not a friend. He was not trusted. He was an asshole, and
Mm.
he was treated as such. In the movie, he's made into a friend and a hero. And those of us who have been longtime comic book heads and anti-imperialists
Mm.
looked at the movie and were like, nah, that's all fucked up.
Mm.
That's all. Old school comic heads were like, that's not what the comics say. That's
Mm.
not the point in the comics. And the same thing is true with the X-Men, because that's the whole point. That is the whole point between the existence of the two characters, Magneto and Professor X. That those comics were written like during and or not long after the height of the civil rights movement.
Mm.
So there are some folks who say, and I'm not sure if Jack Kirby ever said this, but I've heard this about the X-Men, and and the reason there are these two figures. There's allegedly this is allegedly a reflection of the civil rights struggle. Um, and the two figures in like a figure that advocates for peaceful means, and the figure that advocates for no self-determination, self-protection, we need to stay away from them, the Martin Malcolm kind of,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
kind of thing. But the whole point of the comics was that entire discussion. Like,
I
we
heard
live
about
in a
that.
society just like the civil rights movement. We mutants live in a society full of people who hate us.
Mm-hmm.
How do we survive in this society? What is our relationship to these people? So that conversation really is like the part of the point of the comic.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get conveyed in the movies like that at all. So
Yeah, that's what
people
I
who
heard.
watch the movies think that the comics were saying a certain thing, and people who read the comics know that the movies are not saying the same thing that the comics said. So
Yeah, there it
we
is.
has to be qualified.
Okay, I can take it back to Cowboys and Indians. I mean, it's just been like that, right?
Uh,
No,
I,
right on that one. I mean, it's always, I'm cowboy. Like the Indians have been here. Why are y'all going and rustling up these people that's already been here living their life? But just root for the cowboy to go get the Indian because they scalping cowboys' heads that's trying to take over their land and murder their families. Anyway,
I mean,
don't get me
you
on a
got a
tangent.
point. Yeah.
Jackie, listen, man, my I don't think the same as other people, but it
Well,
makes sense at the end. You just gotta stick with me. You just gotta stick with me.
we
So
definitely agree with that.
so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick break. We're 30 minutes in, and then we're gonna come back and see if we can find some news. Kim says she's having some problems with her computer, so hopefully she can restart. Kim, if you're listening on your phone, restart your computer, reboot, alt delete and all that, and then get up in here. All right. Control alt delete.
Right.
All right, so let's take our break right here on No Other Than the Remix Morning Show. All right. So what had happened was I started mixing and I didn't get my song together. So with that said, I am going to do that right now. Thank y'all for tuning in anyway. This is the Remix Morning Show. I am the Ear Doctor. And that is Jackie Lukeman, in case you didn't know. Now you do. So let's do it like this. All right. 1, 2.
The hot clothes I make a next girl flex. You know stop love how the woman never flex. No stop live big I make a next girl. It's like giant food party on the one name and can't friend them have a name in a silong pan. Talk about say them no love how you turn. To your laugh and them kill no one bag a man. But no pay them no mind me time make them burn. Can't knock your body them can't no. Them can't wait to pass them to a van. Touch them down to tune you in a dance bar. Them a call up the name, that's how we done. Anytime you see them, you have to kick up and talk about you no stop love how the girl them flex. The hot clothes I make a next girl flex. You no stop love how the woman them a flex. No stop live big I make a next girl.
All right, let me take you to a time and place. Let me take you back to the year of 1992. We talk about what the man them called Buju Banton off his album Mr. Mention. Yes, name of that song is Love How the Girl Flex. Yes, that's a remix on a remix over Ear Dr. Beat. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare, donate where at blkliberationmedia.org. And rock out with us. Go get you some merch, get fly. And that way you ain't even got to tell nobody. Just put the merch on and they be like, yo, what's that? Let me look it up. Is that the Remix Morning Show? Is that Black Liberation Media? Is that Darker Than Blue? Go copy that merch. Stop lying. All right, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show. Man, I need to go to a good dance hall. I ain't got on the dance hall and get thrown against the wall and just oh yeah. It's like bass music. Back in the 90s, when I moved down to Florida, all the guys had to do was do this, and the girls would bam, 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 bam. And same thing with reggae. You just go back and then they just move it, they whine, 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 whine.
This is why I don't go out. This is yep. Because right off the break, that's too much doggone work.
Oh, man.
What you mean? What you mean? All you gonna do is you get thrown up again after I put all that on. Then you expect me to come and throw you up against the wall. That's why I stay home. That's why I stay home.
That's why
Because I'm
you
not,
go out,
I'm not doing
go out with Ricky one of these times
it.
to a
I'm not
like that.
doing it.
See what
I'm
she
not
do.
doing it.
You'll look at her different. You be like, okay.
Nope. Nope.
You be like, okay, Ricky, I'll see you.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, it's
No. No.
what is it? The 20th? No, it's 30th. We about to get into May.
It is the 30th and it's cold.
Yeah. Raining
April 30th
outside
and
early.
it's chilly.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, thanks in the chat. Thanks, folks in the chat, for reminding me because I did forget that Black Myths did do a pod. They did an episode on the X-Men,
Mm-hmm.
and they talked about how the two characters are actually Menachem Begin and Ben Gurion are representations. But I kind of feel like you can probably impose anybody
Mm-hmm.
in those kind of characters because it's like they do represent this constant tension of how do oppressed people in as much as the people, because I forgot that Jack Kirby was kind of a Zionist. Yeah. um how do we get what we want in a
Mm.
hostile society? um
Do you
yeah.
work with your oppressors and try to change, or do you be like, fuck them, we gonna do our own thing?
And at the time it was written, yeah, I get yeah, whatever. But
But it's a constant struggle.
now I think I just kind of, I don't know. I know what the answer is, but it's not that I don't understand. I keep saying that I don't understand why people aren't more frustrated. But of course I understand why. It is this decades and decades and decades of propaganda
Mm-hmm.
that we're having to undo in every single thing, right?
Yeah.
I recognize that people don't understand what they're seeing because they've been propagandized to believe the exact opposite of what they are seeing. So yes, I understand that. I would be lying though if I didn't say that it is frustrating sometimes because, man, this is like everything that you were told about this place is being shown to be untrue.
Mm-hmm.
You see it. You see how untrue it is.
It's
You
unraveling.
see now that
Mm.
it's not just us. It's not just the Negroes. But
That
you
is,
see, and people are still just like, wait, just wait it out. It'll be over
I
soon.
mean, ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. The less you have to worry about, the better your life is sometimes for some people. That's how they look at it. I mean, look
Mhm.
how stressed you are about shit.
Hey,
I mean,
hey.
think about it. The more you know, the more you like, damn, this ain't right. So when we talk about reading all these books that unlock this knowledge, the more you gonna know, the more you gonna be like, whoa, this is a lot.
I mean, that's not untrue.
It's
That's
not
not entirely
Jackie, I don't
untrue.
understand why y'all act like I be saying untruths over here. I be dropping fucking jewels. And y'all just gotta shine them off because they look like coal. But it's diamonds.
I wasn't even gonna say all that about it, but you just
Keep shining them, keep scrubbing them. They're gonna be diamonds. I don't give them to you easily. You know what I mean?
Oh boy.
So I guess we could go ahead and slap this map since I'm doing a double shift over here.
Yeah,
I ain't
come
gonna.
on. Let's
Yeah, I ain't
do
gonna.
that.
All right, let's get it right here, right now. Welcome back to the Remix Morning Show. Dear Doctor, that's Jackie Lukeman. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe, and let a friend know that this is a show they should be watching and supporting media like Black Liberation Media, because there's nowhere else out there you're going to find radical perspective of news like you would right here. And this is what we're here to do, serve you as a people and also organize. Jackie Lukeman.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working on it.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. I learned from Kim. Speaking of Kim,
She is the consummate professional.
yeah, she
With
got
that.
that shit down.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully, she'll be able to join us for our show at 11
Okay,
in the
okay,
show.
We didn't have to.
Oh,
Let's
my
get
bad.
into some news. Okay.
News, yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk about the thing that all of the people are talking about.
Mm.
The Supreme Court eviscerates. Please don't do
Here we
that.
go with this.
The Voting Rights Act. Excuse me. Let me make sure. All right, let's get that a little bit bigger for you. The court's decision in Louisiana v. Calais takes the teeth out of the Voting Rights Act, making it nearly impossible to draw new minority districts. The Supreme Court dealt the landmark Voting Rights Act a significant blow on Wednesday in a 6-3 ruling that leaves the historic law all but a dead letter, like it wasn't already. Anyway, according to Justice Elena Kagan, in the ruling in Louisiana v. Calais, written by Justice Samuel Alito and joined by the court's other 5 conservatives, the court invalidated a Black majority congressional district in Louisiana as an illegal racial gerrymander. Central to the case was a question about Article 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which prohibits voting practices that result in a denial or abridgment of the right to vote based on race, and whether race-based redistricting could legally be used to comply with the Voting Rights Act. The majority asserted that it could not, and the plaintiffs must now show that intentional discrimination led to the decision to not draw a majority legislative district. This makes it effectively impossible for a Voting Rights Act challenge to win in court without a clear show of racial animus, and it will nullify the law's impact. Let's see. When Section 2 of the Act is properly interpreted, it imposes liability only when circumstances give rise to a strong inference that intentional discrimination occurred, Alito wrote for the majority. Properly understood, Section 2 thus does not intrude on states' prerogative to draw districts based on non-racial factors, including to achieve partisan advantage, end quote. In his decision, Alito notes 4 historical developments as reasons that it is fine to dismantle the landmark civil rights law. And this is something conservatives have said the whole time. Vast social change has occurred throughout the country, and particularly in the South. The argument that the South isn't the same anymore, the country isn't as racist anymore. He argues that racism is not as much of a problem. And see, this is what they have always said. That means one party rule is no longer a concern in the South as it was under Jim Crow. But the one party was white supremacy, not a particular. Okay. The court's decision in Rucho v. Common Cause approved partisan gerrymandering by denying the ability of federal courts to hear such challenges. Importantly for Alito, this means litigants cannot circumvent that rule by dressing their political gerrymandering claims in racial garb. Excuse me. Therefore, a white majority that votes for Republicans could eliminate Black districts that elect Democrats, and the court will see it as merely partisan politicking. Finally, Alito views the use of computers in redistricting. Thank you.
No
As
problem.
capable of drawing districts that aim for racial neutrality. Computers are racially. How long have the algorithm is racist because the people who program it are racist?
Makes sense.
The facial recognition software misidentifies non-white people because the facial recognition software is programmed by people with racial biases. Okay, This would, in effect, enable the exclusion of Black and Latino majority districts in many cases. So, okay. What the court has done today is recast the Reconstruction Amendments as redemption amendments, as prioritizing white grievance over racial justice, said Janai Nelson, president of the NAACP's Legal Defense Fund. And Nelson argued on behalf of the Louisianans in the Calais case. And what he said there is really the key, I think, in what's going on here.
Yeah, break it down.
Everything that we're seeing happening with the Supreme Court and the attacks on the Voting Rights Act, the attacks on the Civil Rights Act, the attacks on what was it? The affirmative action in college admissions, the attacks on DEI, and other parts of the Civil Rights Act, particularly the affirmative action clauses, the attacks on the EEOC, turning it around to use it for discrimination claims for white men, attacking discrimination, anti-discrimination protections in housing. All of this is a part of the very long backlash against Reconstruction, long before the backlash against the Civil Rights Movement. This is the result. This is the end game of the coup of Reconstruction. This is what the Lost Cause mythology sought to facilitate politically, to not only maintain or redeem the honor of the South, and make the discussion about the Civil War not about slavery and racial discrimination and the growth of capitalism on slavery, but about how the South was mistreated by government overreach of the federal government. So all of this is white Southerners resetting the legal landscape and eventually and obviously connectedly the social landscape of this country back to what it was, what it was supposed to be after the North and the South made up with each other after the Civil War. The white Southerners and Northerners made up with each other after the Civil War, but they didn't give a damn about us. We were supposed to stay on the bottom of the social order. We were not supposed to have all of these damn rights. And because all of these rights are in the way of these white people making all of the money, so they thought this is what they argue, in the way of them making all of the money.
Like what, labor laws and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Right, them niggas need to work longer.
All of the attacks against Black people, against the Civil Rights Acts, against legislation that focuses on equality, ultimately serve to undermine the working class. And that is largely the white working class, because we are the canaries in the coal mine. Once they start watering down our rights and indigenous rights, like they gave them to us, they didn't give us rights. Laws exist to make sure that there are penalties for people who violate those rights. That's what the laws do. The laws don't give you rights. Laws set up guardrails for these are the ways you're not going to violate people's rights. And this is what's going to happen to you when you do. Laws don't give you rights.
So they mad they got laws now that they can't just do whatever they want.
They've always been mad at that. They've always been mad at that. They've always been angry at that.
But now these niggas is getting more rights, and now they're going to come up with more laws of what we can and can't do. Yeah, I would be.
But that's always been the game. That has always been the game. Look at the 14th Amendment. I talked about this just last week on Darker Than Blue. The 14th Amendment. We don't understand that the 14th Amendment has always served a dual purpose because it always contained a loophole that was always supposed to give capitalists personhood rights, because the person who helped write the 14th Amendment was also the person who used the first person to use the 14th Amendment to give a corporation personhood rights. And he could do that because he helped write the 14th Amendment. So he knew the loophole. He's the one who put it there. So this has been all the time, all of the time. This has always been the thing. And we have been propagandized so deeply by all of this that we don't make the connections. We're not told these things. We're told, we're told things like our ancestors died for the right to vote. No, they did not. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Our ancestors fought for our liberation. They fought for our human dignity. That's what they fought for. Now, the right to vote, yes, that was a part of that legal, a literal civil struggle. But our ancestors, no, we fought for liberation from chattel slavery. We fought for our human equality. We fought for the self-determination of our people. We didn't just fight for the right to vote, because what does that say about every other aspect of these laws that were supposed to bring a new level of equality to this country? What does that say about the right to the equal right to housing, the equal right to education, the equal right to just to exist?
Yeah.
If the right to vote is the only thing our ancestors, no, that's not. Don't do that.
Yeah.
To the legacy of what they struggled for.
And
Guilt
again, shaming. Yeah.
Just and that kind of thinking is what causes a lot of Black people to excuse the Democrats of today for not doing what they had the power to do over and over again by strengthening, protecting these rights with legislation. But instead, we celebrate when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris gives us a federal holiday for Juneteenth instead of legislation to protect voting rights. Folks are always told, well, our ancestors fought for the right to vote. This is why we have to vote for politicians who will protect the right to vote. And then when you vote for the politicians who tell you they're going to protect the right to vote, and you remind them, we voted for you because you said you were going to protect the right to vote. And their answer is, we can't really do that right now. Now is not the time. Now is not that we can't. It's not. We're not gonna. It's not. Fuck you. Here's a national holiday. Go away.
Yeah, because you're shamed into voting. You don't do any research, and you just go ahead and vote because that's what somebody else in your family did, and then they'll tell you, "Oh yeah, vote for this person because we're doing it." So it's a continuous loop of some ignorance.
So I look at this ruling, and I know I'm mean and I'm cynical. Yep, I really am, because I look at this ruling and I see people responding, and I understand it's bad, but I really can't help but remember folks just celebrating getting Juneteenth as a national holiday from Biden Harris, but not getting protections for abortion rights, not getting protections for voting rights, not getting any kind of improvement in healthcare. What? Not getting those things under Obama either.
But we'll get a day. We'll get a day off so we ain't got to work.
And not all of us get that. And not all of us even get that.
You don't, because
And
some of
not
these
all of us
corporations be like, we're
even
not
get that.
giving you off no goddamn Juneteenth, some made up holiday. Get the fuck out of here. Yo, and this politics is just like a casino. It's like, yo, you can't beat the casino, especially if they writing the laws. If they writing the laws, this is like, yo, big bank take little bank all the time.
So who should write the laws, ear doctor? Who should determine how the society should be run? Who then?
I mean, it's their game, it's their country, so therefore,
That's
but
not
who
the
should?
right answer.
It's not. But let's be straight up. As long as we're playing a monopoly game, we don't know if we're gonna win it. We can keep shooting for the stars, but it's designed. This whole system is designed for us to lose. Am I wrong?
Okay. No, you're not wrong. Come on now, let's keep walking. Let's keep walking.
Okay, so let's keep
going.
walking.
Okay.
So who should write the laws?
Yeah.
The people that's being oppressed.
Good for you. Good
If I
for
was a
you.
villain, if I was a villain, ain't no damn way I'm gonna let somebody write my laws. I'm just saying. I'm gonna write them motherfuckers like this is what's gonna happen. If you don't like it, you're getting arrested.
Wait a minute.
I mean, think about it though, really, right? I mean, it's true. You got to put the mirror up to these people's faces and be like, really, this is what you're gonna do, and hope that they have some type of empathy, and be like, you know what, we should change this law. So I'm not saying we should ever stop. We should continue to organize and put the mirror to their face. But it ain't no crystal stare, as that poet said.
What?
It's no crystal stare, as that poet said.
What poet?
I believe it was
Never mind. Okay, no face, SE. How about maneuver within the system? And I think, are you in the UK? Because of the way you spell maneuver. So
that's that Martin Luther King.
Don't you defame Martin like that.
I'm not, but he's talking about move within the system.
Exactly. By the end of, now we all know that by the end of his life, Dr. King was
at the end of his life.
Yeah, he was not talking about that.
The strikes and everything. I get it. Yeah, he wasn't at the end, but to get some type of equality, you have to, in a way, move within the system. That's
no.
Okay.
Didn't we just establish
that? We just established that, but
so how is a system that was not designed to empower the people in any way? Because listen, the reason the Constitution is written the way it is, and the reason the Electoral College was established, was so that the people could actually never have more power than the elected representatives.
Mm-hmm.
That is why. So this system is not designed to empower the people. It is not. So there is no maneuvering in this system to change something that is foundational. And they've been doing it for 250 years. So what kind of maneuvering inside a 250-year-old system that wasn't designed to empower the people who live in the system? What are we going to do to change? No, you have to change this thing. It has to go. And really, this whole thing, this settler colonial imperial, 500 years. Doctrine of discovery, 500 years. Below the lid debates. So you're going to work inside of that system to change?
So are we saying that?
No.
Well, are we saying that Martin made no changes?
How did we get there?
Because we talking about somebody earlier. We was talking about Magneto and Professor X. We was talking about Martin Luther King, Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm.
So we're saying that Martin worked with the system in a way to get some changes.
Did he
right?
work with the system?
He walked up in he walked up in the White House and signed some papers, didn't he?
He didn't sign any papers. What?
I mean, was it the civil rights?
Why do you think Martin Luther King Jr. signed the Civil Rights Act? Why? Why do you think that? I don't understand.
But I never seen Malcolm walk up in the White House and be like, "Okay, we're gonna do this." That's what that's what I'm saying, as in working with the system in a way. Am I wrong?
There were things that the people forced the US government to do. Okay? And this was not just a Martin thing. Let's be clear about why the Civil Rights Act was signed. Because Lyndon Johnson told Dr. Martin Luther King in that meeting in the White House, if you want me to do anything about this, that you're going to have to make me do it. And Dr. King said, okay. And the people made him do it. So it wasn't just Dr. King walking up into the White House telling Lyndon Johnson, look, motherfucker.
I got all my people out here.
My people go if it's the last thing I do before I leave this wretched building that my people built. Now, come on now, y'all.
Okay, Cadence. I hear you.
No, it was the people in the streets every day, all over the South, then the people in the North, all over boycotting, protesting, picketing every damn day. This is wrong. This we ain't gonna stand for this shit. The people got in the streets and said, we're not taking this, all over the place. That is what caused the Civil Rights Act to happen. But again, look at what they have done with that legislation. The very same system that was not designed to empower the people can and always does take away the so-called rights that they allow you to have. This is why you can't look at a system saying the system gives me rights. No, the people have to develop the system that protects their human rights. That's how it has to happen.
So what's your main takeaway from the story?
Destroy capitalism. Destroy capitalism. Destroy this system. It needs to go. Yes, that's and the people need to build what we need on the other side of that. There you go.
Whew,
look, and 2 minutes to spare. Look at that. I'm getting better.
Yeah, you are, because you know you.
I never, ear doctor.
No, me, I never do either. But I really like it's a hell of an uphill battle, especially when you talk about, going into the casino and winning all the money.
That's why you have to burn the casino down.
Because you'll never win.
Ask Cuba about the one movie that I always point to that actually has some accurate historical information in it about Cuba is what is it? Oh shoot, Scarface, I think. Is it? No. Well, the Godfather. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yes, the scene where they are in Cuba on the night of the revolution, and all of the Europeans and the mob are leaving. They are fleeing because the revolution has popped off. And there are all these poor Black peasant Cubans running from the mountains into Havana because they were denied. They were barred from being in Havana except for work, because that's where all the casinos and whatnot was. So go watch Godfather and watch that scene and understand what needs to be done to the casino in order for the people to win. The house has to disappear.
Yeah, Dr. Nas opened the casino. Nas, no, you gotta own the casino if you're gonna win, not just go in there and play the games. Anyway, all right. So well, we were supposed to have a break with Minister Server. I mean, everybody's not showing up today except you and me. So, but we do have guests.
I barely hear myself. I don't know.
Oh, you're doing a great job, Jackie, as usual, per usual. And let's go ahead and I don't know what to do. I did not prepare for another break because we're supposed to have Minister Server here coming at 9 o'clock. But you know how we do. We maneuver, we make stuff happen. We do have our guests here. And you need a little break, Jackie, or you ready to keep it moving?
Let's keep it moving.
All right, cool. So
Wait, do you need a little break?
I mean, I'm going to break while. Yeah, I guess I would like to refill. I would like to refill my remix coffee cup. And if you
do the break and then Neither one of us is 20 anymore. Let's not be embarrassed.
Yeah, nah, they got me working overtime over here, man. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a break right here on No Other Than the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Just want to let y'all know. Oops. Sorry, Jackie. Just want to let y'all know that y'all should hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage just rare, and donate where at blkliberationmedia.org. We are celebrating 5 years of being right here on this platform. Thank y'all for your support. Continue to support, become a Patreon member. Also, let somebody know that this is what they should be watching. Take a shot of the screen, screenshot. Put it on your social media. Let people know this is what they need to watch. Instead of getting that bullshit, fake news out there, they can come over here and get the real deal, where you'll see revolution right here before your eyes and liberation. All right, with that said, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show. Yeah. All right. That's the best break I'm doing right now. So... So, all right. So I guess we could go ahead and bring up our guests, and let's do it a little bit something like this. This is the Remix Morning Show, y'all. Let's get it.
Welcome back to the Remix Morning Show, everyone. It is April 30th, and I'm Jackie Lukeman. That guy is Ear Doctor, and we are joined by documentarians who have done some really amazing work. Matthew Solomon, who is the producer of Seeds for Liberation, and Donna Hajikani. Did I pronounce that correctly?
That was excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, producer of Seeds for Liberation, a fantastic documentary that we're so glad that you are here to talk about. How are you doing?
Great.
Good. It's early for us, but we're good.
So are y'all on the West Coast?
We're on the East Coast, but we're from the West Coast, and we just got here. So
I'm so sorry.
No,
it's great.
Excited to talk to you. It's all good.
Yeah. So tell us first, Donna. Tell us about Seeds for Liberation. What is this documentary? And why is it so important for us to know about it and engage with it, especially right now?
And Jackie, I do have a clip.
Seeds for Liberation is a documentary. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. It's a documentary about the pro-Palestine movement and its connection to other liberation movements, the Black Liberation Movement, Chicano Liberation Movement, and how all of these collective liberation movements will free us all. And what's most beautiful is how you can see the similarities between all of the different groups' struggles and how what's happening in America today and really the whole world today is entirely connected.
Mm-hmm. That is absolutely true. And Matthew, you know, that's like a running theme for the work I do, and but it's also been a running theme in the work that you have done prior to Seeds for Liberation, but also obviously in this documentary. Can you talk more about that and kind of introduce the clip that we're going to see so people can get a taste of what they have in store, what you have in store for them?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And also, I'm the director of the film, and
Oh,
Donna's the executive producer. Um,
sorry. Thank you.
no, all good. It's funny because yeah, it's all right. Like outside of the film business, it gets like people don't know what labels mean what, and even in the film business, people like I don't what's what's the difference. Um, anyway, Donna and I actually we've been friends since seventh grade,
Oh, wow.
and we we've been friends for that long. We made our previous documentary, Reimagining Safety, is on alternatives to police, and that was we made that film after George Floyd in 2020. I went back to school. Actually, I went into a master's in public administration program, and that's where I was really introduced to abolition and started reading Angela Davis and Mariame Kaba and Alex Vitale. And so I made that film as my master's thesis. And we've toured with that the last almost 3 years now. We've had over 100 screenings across the country. Over 130 community organizations have supported that film. And in that process, I've been with the Stop Cop City folks in Atlanta. I've been with the, folks in Newark with the Office of Violence Prevention. I've been in Sacramento, and I met, Chuck Modiano, who introduced me to you, through that process. And all of that, we were touring with that film when October 7th, 2023 happened. And I'm so grateful to have been in community with so many amazing organizers who were very clear. And I got a very fast education because I'm an anti-Zionist Jew, but I didn't really have the terminology for that at that point. And I recognized what was happening, but because of how I was raised and the programming and all of that, like it took a minute to recalibrate. And through that, and through knowing all these people, like I had the framework and the understanding and the analysis from amazing organizers, and over the last year or so, seeing the police violence at the encampments, because I knew about Cop City and how that's funded by Israel and modeled after Israel. It's funded by organizations that support Israel, but the Cop Cities are modeled after Little Gaza. Our police here are like, they do training exchanges in Israel. So all of that's connected. And when the violence against students happened at the encampments, and the news media was saying, oh, it's just stupid college kids, and they had 2 years of COVID, so they don't know how to socialize, so they're acting out. Like, that was MSNBC saying that. There was a point where about a year ago, I had the idea for Seeds for Liberation, and I recognized how we needed to use our skills and tools to have Palestinians and the Stop Cop City folks and La Raza in LA, like, tell the real story about what's really happening and how it's really connected. And so that was the idea for Seeds for Liberation. And so about a year ago this time was when we started doing the interviews. And did the interviews up until like July, and then edited, and then we had our premiere in January. And we've had almost 20 screenings since January across the country and in Canada, and we're heading to Mexico and Denmark and all these places, doing these community screenings where organizers are like, we need this because we're exhausted. And it's something that is inspiring for folks. So that's the short the short version.
All right, well, let's get into this short and check out the stock.
Thank you.
The people in power don't want you to know about this, especially right now, especially any of the apps. But I happen to be a weed, not a seed.
If you ask any Palestinian in the world today where they're from, most of the time they'll give you the name of a city or a village that existed prior to 1948.
A land without people for people without a land. This was a complete fabrication. It was a complete lie.
Judaism has been hijacked. And the other lie is that you need Israel to make Jews safe.
Come to Israel. We'll show you around. We'll explain to you why you're wrong. And so I did go. I went a couple of years later, and oh my God, it was worse than I could have ever imagined it to be.
It's a genocide. It's a genocide because every single, institution like Amnesty International, like Human Rights Watch, these institutions have called it a genocide.
Gaza is America. Gaza is a laboratory.
The bombs are still falling. Schools haven't divested.
The occupation! Shut it down! Shut it down!
Justice for Gaza is justice for us all.
In the moment like that, we are connected to a broader struggle.
We have the power of the monkey wrench. We have to organize our communities to defend ourselves against the white supremacist construct that is the national security state.
There was a massive onslaught and attack on these students at the encampment.
Everybody has to resist. Everybody has to stand up because they came for us today, but they'll come for you tomorrow.
When I think of a free Palestine, I do think of collective liberation. Those two things are completely intertwined for me.
Palestinians, like any other people, just want to live a normal life. Putting in your destination on Google Maps and not seeing a checkpoint.
I often say that there's been a seed of consciousness that's been planted in everybody.
When you ask Palestinians what they want, they've literally said, I want to play on a playground. I want to go to school.
I ask myself this question all the time. I wonder why it is so controversial for me to advocate for Palestinian freedom, Palestinian liberation. Why is it so controversial?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
That's fantastic.
I actually still get emotional every time I watch the trailer.
Yeah, that is really wonderful. Donna, what is it like? You all have done 20 screenings. There are so many more to come, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like, for me, that we're living in this bizarre, upside down world where all of a sudden genocide is acceptable, or at least acceptable enough to enough people in this country that they're not engaged, outraged, concerned about that. Is that the feeling you have gotten from these screenings, or have you felt and seen something different? Have people come in with that kind of attitude and that's changed when they've seen this movie, or are you still seeing that kind of malaise, and people are tired of hearing about this now? What is the sentiment that you felt through these screenings so far?
It's so great that you asked that question, because last night Matthew and I were sitting in our hotel and we were talking about how there's this real actual feeling of hopelessness. Like we're really feeling hopeless in this moment. Everything that we see has gone to shit, and there's nobody. You can't trust the media. You can't trust our politicians. I remember you could think oh, the Supreme Court will step in and save us. And now they've just thrown out the Voting Rights Act, basically. What hope is there? And what we always come back to is there are absolutely a group of people, and the group of people is growing every day, who see what's going on and who are fighting with everything that they have to change it, to stop what's going on, to save humanity from the people who are trying to completely take it away from us. And that's why we're doing this, because when we are in solidarity, when we are in community, when we are surrounded by the people, the rooms filled with people who are feeling that same hopelessness, we know we're not alone. And everyone shares how happy they are that other people see what's going on as well. And I feel like it's so important for us to continue fighting, and we're not fighting from that place of hopelessness. We're entirely fighting from a place of love and hope, and just this real desire for people to thrive in anywhere, wherever they are. And there are people who want this too. And more than anything, we've done this so that we can experience that, and we could share it with people, and we could fill rooms with people who want to see the same thing as we do. And of course, we want to bring these issues in front of as many people as possible. And I have to say, it's not entirely to change anybody's mind. It's just to wake up people's consciousness, just so that they can see that we are all in this together, and this is entirely a shared struggle.
And Matthew, I think that sentiment was definitely a part of reimagining safety, and it's really interesting that it is such a bigger part of this documentary, Seeds for Liberation, for obvious reasons, right? But they are reasons that are obvious to people like us, right? What is the power of what Donna just said, like having people in the same room who may have different perspectives about this particular issue, may already have an opinion about it that is disengaged, but now they see that they are a part, that this is not a small thing. This is something that actually does impact them. What does that, what has been the result, do you think, of that from these screenings? Have you seen kind of and a different kind of action from people when they engage this screening after having that realization that, oh, this does involve me, this, I am a part of this?
Yeah, that's a great question. Both films are really intentionally centered on humanity, and we're fighting against this machine that dehumanizes groups of people, and then it becomes easy to dismiss groups of people, and to write off, oh well, that, and to think that we're separate. And so both films are very intentionally focused on the humanity and the human experience, and amplifying the lived experiences of the people, who've been most affected by this machine. And so it's really hard to deny, when people are watching the film, that like we're all human, we're all connected, and there are these atrocities that are happening that a lot of us are complicit in. And so, with reimagining safety, it was a lot of, like folks who were like, oh, I had no idea it was like this or this bad. And I had no idea there were actually alternatives to police, right? I didn't know there were community responders. I didn't realize that if people actually had, homes and clothes and food, that of course, we would be much safer, right? With this film, it's been really interesting because people have, come in who, they'll leave the film and then text me later and they're like, I had no idea. I didn't really know enough about it. Now I want to learn more. I want to, read the books, listen to the people who are talking about it, and they're horrified because it's horrifying. Everything's very carefully edited in the film, and there's footage from Gaza and the West Bank. And, Dr. Mimi Syed, who's, a trauma doctor who's been in Gaza twice, has photos and videos that she sent us. And there are journalists in Gaza, who sent the footage either to us or to people in the film for us to use, that shows the horrors that's happened to men and women and children. And so it's when it's in your face like that, it's if there's any ounce of humanity, it's really hard to shut that off and deny it. And so that has caused people to be like, okay, I want to know more. I want to how we can solve this, right? And then for us with these community screenings, where there's always a panel, it's always organizers, local organizers who are doing the work, and then people are like, what do we do? And then it's like, well, here's the folks that are doing the work in your community. Talk to them, support them, get involved with them, give them money, all of that.
Yeah, we were all very excited to see Daruba bin Wahad in the documentary, and Chuck and our good friend Chuck. So that was really great. We appreciate that so much.
Daruba, I just have to say, because that was about a year ago that I did his interview. He happened to be in the States for that, and when that was like a 3-hour, like 8 o'clock at night. He had just gotten off a plane, and the man is sharp as a tack. And I would ask him a question, and he'd go like all the way around.
Yes.
And then I would be like, oh, I need to remember to ask him about that thing. And then he would answer it before I asked him. And then he would complete the thought. It was like a 15-minute like loop, but he hit all of it and anticipated what I was going to ask. And I was just like, wow, this is a masterclass that I'm getting right now.
Yeah. Don't talk to him unless you want that. Because you're gonna get it every time. Donna, I wanted to ask you, and I've always wondered about this, because I always kind of wondered as we were engaging the encampments here in DC, we meaning the BAP, the Black Alliance for Peace. I always wondered why the tip of the spear, the epicenter of this struggle in this country, to end the genocide, really to end the occupation of Palestine, why that was centered on college campuses. Why did it kick off on college campuses that way? And I have ideas, but I don't think they're connected. Why was this struggle so prominent and so heated on college campuses more than pretty much anywhere else in any other institution in this country? Why do you think that was?
Well, historically, the college kids are the ones who bring the issues and fight against them. I think it's because they're just learning about it and they haven't been jaded yet by life. So it's very, very, very fresh in their minds and in their hearts. And they're seeing injustice and actually feeling it for the first time in their lives. And they have less to lose than adults or older adults might. People who are in the workforce, people who have families who can lose a lot more than a teenager or a young adult. Um, and they're receiving the knowledge in a much more accurate way, I would say, because they really are, they're like on the ground. They're like in the middle of where you receive the knowledge. Literally, they're on a college campus, so the knowledge is there for them. um, I I love that you ask this question because this time last week, Occidental College, where I graduated from in Los Angeles, just restarted a new encampment on campus to get the college to divest from Israel, and also to bring to light what the international students are experiencing on college campuses. So last fall, they held a hunger strike, a 5-day hunger strike for Palestine, for divestment, and also because of Trump's new international student laws and the danger that international students who might voice their opinions could get expelled from school or could suffer worse than that and be deported. So they held a hunger strike, and this is unusual because the encampments mostly ended like about a year before that, so a year and a half ago. So the new president of the college, he came to them during their hunger strike 5 days in. These kids were so, I call them kids, I shouldn't call them that. These young adults
I do the same thing.
were so committed to what they were protesting, peacefully, of course. And he comes and he says, I see what you guys are protesting against, and I think it would be better if you could eat. Which is the most humiliating and like demeaning and condescending response this new president of the university could possibly have given them. And so when his inauguration came, they protested his inauguration, and their protests were met with campus security, outside security, and maybe some other kind of law enforcement. And there was severe violence against these young adults who were peacefully protesting the inauguration. And 3 people ended up in the hospital. A couple kids' glasses broke into their faces. And they were actually disciplined by the school board. I think 1 got expelled and 2 got like academic probation. And these students still had the guts and the courage and the bravery and the commitment to start another encampment this past week. And they weren't going to back down. But I gotta say, the schools are smarter now, and they have more violence, more threats, more they've figured out more and more, like, just the worst level of how to threaten these students. And so on the 4th day, they had to break down the encampment. But I have to say, every day, even though I wasn't on campus with them, I felt I was in total solidarity with them. I felt so proud of these young people who really haven't forgotten, just because all the schools aren't in the middle of encampments, and just because it's not on front page news, it's certainly nowhere in mainstream media what's happening in Palestine. Uh, and of course, now there's Lebanon and Iran who's experiencing a similar, not quite as genocidal, but give them an inch and they'll take an entire continent. Um, these students are still fighting for Palestine, for all of us, really. And I couldn't have been more proud. It was literally the first time in 31 years. Is that when I graduated? I don't know, might have been more than that. But in a long time, I actually was proud to be a graduate from Occidental College. Yeah, I mean, I 100% stand with them and what they were doing. And I wish, I mean, the threats are keeping so many students on so many campuses from speaking out again, not only against genocide, but also against ICE, also against everything that the state is bringing to all of us. Yeah, thank God for the students. They really are. They are where the hope is. In so many ways, they are. That is where we can actually get our energy to continue and our hope to continue. I mean, not just for them, but they are showing us how it can be. And I'm grateful.
Well, I'm really grateful for you both in this documentary and the work that you do. Matthew, what's next? What's next on the agenda? Where's the next screening? Oh, I have to share this. I'm sorry. Hold on. Just a second. Let me find it. A Rob says Matthew was kind enough to meet with me for an article I was working on about Blackness and disability and policing. Need to bring him to Durham for a screening in the aftermath of our crisis response team involvement with encampment sweeps, which we talked about a little bit here. Thank you so much for the 1999 sticky. And that's the kind of, it's good to see that this is, because we organizers can be kind of wary of folks sometimes. And we're like, okay, it's great you did this one thing, but what are you doing outside of the one very public thing? And it's great to see people involved in talking about the movement and the work who are also in the movement and the work. So
Yeah.
that's really, really good to know. So what is next what's the next screening? Where can we see the documentary? And how can we support? What can we do to spread this far and wide?
Thank you. Yeah. So first of all, the website seedsforliberationmovie.com has a list of our screenings, and this is all self-funded. We don't have like big sponsors and all of that. So there's if you want to contribute, you can do that on the website. We have a Chuff campaign. We're screening tonight in Philly at the Falzer Club. We're going to be in Orange, New Jersey on Saturday, and Claudia De La Cruz is going to be on the panel with us. And then we have our world premiere virtual screening on May 6th next week on Kinema. So you can watch, like, if you're not in Philly or Jersey, you can watch the film virtually. And we're going to have a panel with Alana Hadid, who's an executive producer on the film, Quentin Quarantino, Sim Kern, who's in the film, and then Donna and me are going to be a part of that. And then, there's, like I said, on seedsforliberationmovie.com, we have People's Forum in New York on May 21st with Amanda Seals and Daniel Amate. And then we got into Netroots Nation, which that's going to be on June 5th. And then we're working on some DC screenings. Chuck is help coordinating that. So I think that's going to be May 22nd in DC. But yeah, follow, go to the website. Our Instagram account is very active and up to date. So that's Seeds for Liberation Movie. Yeah, that's how to follow and what we're doing.
Thank you both so much for this beautiful work, for the commitment and the passion, and for helping to continue this struggle for liberation, for giving us Seeds for Liberation. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That was exciting. I finally got to meet Matthew Solomon.
Look at that. Look at that.
Me.
All right, here on
the trying to coordinate it just, oh my God, it was just too much.
When they come to DC, they need to connect with BAP. I mean, also.
We run this. No, we don't. Stop.
I mean, y'all run a block or two. Come on.
Erica in the chat, she can be like,
Exactly, they listening. Yo, so check this out. We're gonna take a real quick break and then we're gonna get back into it. We got about a couple minutes left, so why not? You know what I'm saying? Right here on the Remix Morning Show. Damn it, right? Let me play. All right. Welcome out, y'all. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Come through, and tell somebody else to come through. That's what they need to do. Go to blackliberationmedia.org and show your love. Get you some merch and all that. And, that's a part of it. If you're not able to get out in the streets, if you're not able to make a move, you donate. You donate and you help the movement. All right. With that said, we talked about MLK. We talked about X-Men earlier. So I wanted to go to one of our dope shows that comes here on Black Liberation Media, and that would be Myths, the Myths podcast. And they were talking about X-Men and stuff like that. So let's see what they had to say about this.
Yeah, Malcolm wants to kill us all like Magneto, and Malcolm is, foaming at the mouth, and but that's the real split, but King wanted to have peace and harmony amongst the people. And again, as we'll get to, but I mean, with something we can say now, like, this isn't even how those characters play out in something we said on our last episode, the original. Most of especially in the movies, most of the time is spent, and a lot of even in the cartoons, are mutants fighting mutants, like most of the time. It's mutant fighting mutants. In the comics, once you get into the more advanced levels, it's a little better. But it's often just mutant fighting mutants, right? It's not like this. There's no struggle really against humans. It's
trying to gain acceptance from humans.
It's the X-Men trying to protect, the humans from the evil, quote unquote, evil mutants. Like, so what is that? How does that even correlate to, like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X? Like, Martin Luther King was killed by humans, so it's just like it doesn't hold up. When we get to the actual like Zionism part, then all of a sudden when I learned that, I was like, oh, all of this makes perfect sense now. Now the whole conflict is put in full context or whatever. But anyway.
Yes. Go ahead and check out the Black Miss podcast and go to the playlist and you can pull up, as you can see, view all the shows under the playlist and you can go ahead and search for that episode right there. All right, there you go. That is the Black Miss podcast. Now let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show.
Outcome. None of these rhymes have been made up for wishes or wishes or wishes or wishes.
All right. Look at that. Got to dig up what we was talking about earlier.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yep. I do a little production back here. Not much, but
yeah.
push buttons.
No, you do a little more than that. You do. That was a great interview. I really I'm excited for them to to meet them in person when they come through DC. So that's really good. It's
a good clip. It makes you want to watch it. You know, some documentary clips come out. You like that one's like okay. So they did a good job. And they hitting all the main areas so people can check it out. Speaking of, we also here on Black Liberation Media are working on a documentary, executive producing one on Cuba. That's right, with the one of them called Musa and some other people y'all know about. So get prepared for that. We got any other story before we get out of here? Jackie, we held it down today.
I think so. I think we did. I think we did
you
pretty
don't
good.
think.
We don't. We don't.
No, we held it down. You ain't gotta think about it. Because we still here.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, you know. Other than that, I don't know if we'll be doing classical breakdown today. Kim's computer is acting up. And I was so looking forward to it, but we'll go ahead and do it schedule it for next week. And be back with Stevie's Pen. All right.
Stevie's Pen.
Yeah, you got anything planned this weekend? Or do you know what you we'll get to that at the end of the show. You got anything else planned this weekend?
No, I don't have anything planned this weekend. And I'm not planning anything.
You're good with that.
Yeah, because I think I had a weird epiphany this past week.
Do tell.
I think this is the first time since maybe 2013, 2012, maybe that I haven't been managing some horrific crisis. This is the first time in, oh my God, I don't know how many years that I have had peace, really.
Wow.
Just nothing is going wrong.
That's good.
Nothing is an emergency. I mean, things aren't.
Yeah.
No, actually, everything is fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
It feel good to say that. Like it's like, wait a minute, I can say this? Yes.
And I did not realize how much utter chaos I was managing. And this is just personal life stuff, because that's it. That ain't even organizing stuff that was on top of the personal, but the personal life stuff, like for the past 13 years, it's just been crisis after crisis after. It's been wonderful highs, joy and wonderful love and all this kind of stuff, but it was also a whole lot of chaos. And then, of course, with things that happened in 2021 and my health issues and losing my job, and so everything just one after another since. I say since I had been saying since Abdus died, but no, it had been going on before then. And so I didn't know, like a couple of weeks ago, I'm laying in bed and I'm like unnerved. And I'm like, why? Because I don't have to do anything. I don't have a deadline. Nobody wants anything from me. Nobody's looking for me. I don't owe anybody anything. Everything is fine. why am I freaked out? I have a refrigerator full of food, got a freezer full of food downstairs, got a bunch of canned food. I'm warm, I'm safe, I'm healthier than I've been in my life. I've got this kidney transplant. I got a nice roof over my head, got a lot of room, got a car that's paid off in the driveway.
And
Everything is fine. What's wrong?
curmudgeon is all right today too, even though he had a
And
little cough.
so I'm laying in bed like, why am I so uncomfortable? And it took me a couple of days and a couple of discussions with my therapist to realize, oh, I'm not used to peace. I'm not used to it. I'm
That's
not
deep.
used to peace.
That's deep in so many ways. That's deep in so many
Mhm.
ways. And I would say, a lot of people think alcohol, food, and different things take you out early. No, it's stress. Stress takes
Man.
you out before all that other stuff. So all of us vegans and vegetarians can preach, you got to eat right. Stress. I don't stress shit, Jackie. Let me tell you something. That's why I look this young. I don't stress shit. I realized a long time ago, shit gonna happen. And you gotta either realize it's gonna happen and you get caught up in it, or you just figure out, okay, why is this happening? Let me figure out what lesson I'm gonna learn from this that's gonna make me better in the future. So that's how I always look at stuff. So therefore I don't stress shit.
I mean, well, there's some things in life that will bring you stress regardless of how you feel about it. And I had all of those this past cut. And look, I don't talk about these things because I'm trying to get sympathy but I'm just a regular sister, just like everybody else who's watching. I'm just a regular Black person living in this country, just like everybody else. So I'm not the only person who goes through this. Other people have lost family members too. Like, yeah, a lot of terrible things happened to me in a very short period of time that normally would not happen to one person. Yes, I think that's kind of true. I don't know why that is, but I think there's a reason for it that's for me, but I don't think it's anything that I'm like obsessed about trying to figure out. Shit happens, and every person I think has their own path in life that doesn't always have to do with you, even if life did put you together for whatever reason. I firmly believe that me and Abdus got together so that we could do this, so that everything I'm doing now, so that we could do this. And the organizing and everything, I think that was supposed to happen. The other stuff was just his path. Didn't have anything to do with me. The role I played was to give him something that he would have never gotten with anybody else without me. And that was somebody to help him realize his dreams and to love him unconditionally. And for me, he helped me grow a spine and stand up for myself and give me the confidence to do this. Right? So I firmly believe that we were put together for a reason that benefited me and him, but I also know that his path was just his, and the things that he struggled with really didn't have anything to do with me. Didn't There was nothing I could do about it. I was supposed to learn what I learned for whatever reason. For whatever reason I learned it, but mostly what I was supposed to do for him was to love him. Really. That was it. That was what I was supposed to do. And he got from me what he would have what he didn't get from anybody else. And that's fantastic. But the other stuff, that was horrible.
Yeah.
And that was just his path. It was just I was supposed to be there to give him a little bit of light in that darkness. And the stress that comes with that shit, it just is. It just is. I mean, and it's as someone who loves someone who is in that situation struggling with a dual diagnosis, bipolar disorder and substance abuse disorder that went undiagnosed for 20 years. Your job is to not lose yourself, And your job is to love that person through their struggle, however you can. And remembering to love yourself. And if that means you have to separate yourself from that person for their own good and for yours, then that's what needs to happen. But that's a decision you need to make. But yeah, I realized that I had spent a very, very long time hyper alert, um, tensed and stressed all the time, always looking for, the other shoe to drop, always dealing with bad news, always tired, always recovering from a bunch of surgeries. Um, I'm still having to take a lot of medication every day for the rest of my life. And so I was always a bundle of nerves. I was always a ball of nerves for years. And I think I just realized that, oh my God, I can relax now.
Well, I'm
And
glad you can.
I don't know how to.
Well, we're gonna figure it out together. Let me see real quick. Dub King Reggie said, "Come on, ear doctor. We're all stressing over something. It's how you manage it." I guess so. I mean, I'm not really stressing anything right now, so I can't. I really am not, and I'm blessed to. I feel like in my life, shit is just working. And why has Zinzi got such a crush on me? She can't. You know how you just continue to hit people because you like, oh, you don't know how to. You don't know how to talk to them when there's nothing up there. There's nothing. I mean, I thought, she can't stop throwing shots at me. Zinzi, it's never going to be a us. All right, let me just put it out there.
I
We can
beg
work
to
together,
differ.
but there's
Yeah,
never
I
going to
don't.
be a. There's never going to be a us. So just live with it.
Methinks he protesteth too much.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
You know,
Keep trying, Zenzi. Keep trying. Keep fronting.
she's good at it. She's good at it, boy. She just keep throwing blows at me for no reason. But anyway, yeah, I mean that's a good thing because once you do learn to start accepting, like some people can accept like praise. Like they don't know how to accept praise and how to accept love. So the fact that you're recognizing it, now you can start being like, okay, let me release myself and allow it to come and allow me to not stress and stuff like that. Because this is like certain things, like even as a flipping it to signs like Scorpio. It's like, when you learn it, fix your face and just follow with me.
Sorry.
All right. It's like when you hear about Scorpios, you hear about they're vengeful, they want revenge, they're jealous and stuff like that. So I hear about these things knowing I'm a Scorpio. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make sure I work on not being those traits that they say I am. So certain things I feel like you can work on not being. So now that you know and recognize it, you cannot be stressed by realizing, like you said, there's no good and no bad. It just is.
Wait, I didn't say there's
Well,
no
when you
good.
said it just is, okay. So
Well,
I
it can be bad
said the other part.
and it is
I
bad.
I put that part, but I
Yes.
mean,
Oh, I know.
yeah, I mean, it's well, I look at it like that. There's no good or bad. It just is, and you just deal with it.
Well,
So,
no, I don't.
well,
I
you
don't.
don't
Look.
have to. You don't have to. But this is how I works thing, and that's why I'm not stressed.
Okay, well, sometimes life fucking sucks.
Yeah.
That's just true. And I think part of the stress sometimes is that we're surprised when life sucks because we're led to believe life is supposed to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to have these terrible problems if you're a good person. Man, somebody you love is going to die because we all have to. That's how we all, and you're going to be treated unfairly. And people are going to be mean to you unjustly. And a friend is going to betray you. These kind of things happen to everyone pretty much. And it's all bad. It's bad. It's terrible. People shouldn't do these things. I mean, grief is difficult. Yes, death is a part of life, but grief is hard. It is hard.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I've dealt with it since a teen. Parents dying since I'm a teen.
yeah,
I have no
yeah.
grandparents. I have no uncles. I have no aunts. All of them gone. And I
Wow.
could go crawl under a thing and be like, oh, I'm a good person. Why am I being treated bad? Or I could just be like, you know what? It just is. Let me keep moving. So that's what I mean by that. When I say it's
Okay.
no good and bad. See, that's you get me
But
sometimes. Sometimes I
okay.
gotta
Well,
break
yeah,
it
I
down.
get you.
You get
I
me now.
get you. But
Okay.
I gotta be contrarian. That's my job.
I
That's
mean, and no, it's not. So, sounds elsewhere said, why do you, ear doctor, always suggest that women who constantly criticize you are secretly crushing or flirting with you? I don't. It's just one person. It's just one person.
it's not people, it's Zinzabel.
It's just one person. That's it.
No, we're gonna leave Zinzi alone.
Yeah, nah.
Sure.
Ricky always criticizes him. She did it earlier today already. I mean, you know, we on the same team. I thought me and Isabel was on the same team now, but you know. But you know, I could take it because it just is.
Oh boy.
All right. Well, we got about a couple minutes. Let's find out what's coming up on Darker Than Blue, if you know yet.
I do know, and this is the I am going to do this one time.
Okay.
Because normally I don't care, but you know, I always say that the electoral politics on a national level is bullshit, and I don't know why you bother because look at what they're doing. But on the local level, that there could be some benefit. So there is there will be a candidate forum on Darker Than Blue tomorrow, 5 to 6, and I will be asking 3 of the candidates running for mayor in Washington D.C. about their plans for protecting and ensuring that the culture and arts community are protected from the ravages of capitalist, privately funded, driven gentrification and corporate, what did I call it? Corporate NGO privatization of humanities. So I am participating in this because I don't want to hear from them about you know, we're going to create a pathway for cultural workers to be at. Now, I don't want to hear about your pathway bullshit. I want you to tell voters what you are going to do about the private corporate NGO control over DC public school system in their humanities and music programs, because that's what's happened in DC public schools. All of those programs that we used to have, music, drama, you know, literature, all that kind of stuff. I didn't even realize that private NGOs now provide them, but they don't provide them to all the public schools. So all the kids don't get them. And you know which kids don't, right?
I know that already.
So I'm going to be asking questions about what these candidates are going to do about the control of the city's budget that private equity developers and the for-profit NGO industry has on the arts and culture community, starting in school and extending to our seniors, so that the people who live and bear the culture and the history of this city can't participate in it because they're criminalized and locked out of it. So that's Darker Than Blue tomorrow, a candidate forum.
All right. Makes what time?
5 to 6. What do you mean what time? Same time.
I know it's just me and you here, but it's a bunch of people might be new and they want to know what time. So there you go.
That's true. You have to remind me of that. Thanks. That's true. That's true. Thank you. Yes.
Big up to
5 to 6 Eastern.
Okay. Thank you, Jackie. Bringing facts and analysts. What about me? Sending in $10. I can't even. Who's that? Anonymous grasshopper? I said that right. Okay.
Yes, you did, but you didn't say the other word right. But that's okay. We're at the end of the show. We ain't gonna do that no more.
Analysis.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Anyway,
Let's just
yo,
go.
Jackie, you know what? I really enjoy sharing the screen with you. Always, I think we have very good conversations, and I always learn new things. You know what I'm saying? Like our word of the day, gerrymandering.
Wow.
Yes, yes. The term was coined in 1812, combining salamander with Massachusetts Governor Elderbridge Jerry, who signed a bill creating the strategy shaped politically advantages district. That's a lot of words. But yeah, gerrymandering. Okay.
That's very good. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
no, I'll
you
be
very much.
trying.
Very good.
All right. Listen, we'll be back here, Remix Morning Show, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So make sure y'all tune in and rock out with us. And y'all have a great weekend. If we don't see y'all again until then, we will be back every week. So tune in.
May 1st, general strike. Don't take your ass to work.
That's right.
And
May
don't
Day
cook
is coming. May Day is coming. Right? Am I right, Jackie?
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
And big up to my dad. R.I.P. Birthday is May the 1st. So salute Robert E. Lee Batts. You gotta say their name out. Ancestors are listening.
The whole name.
That's right. Robert Lee Batts. Big up.
Happy birthday, Robert Lee Batts.
Here we go. All right. Peace out, y'all. Have a great one. We out. Black Liberation Media is a collective of Black and African organizers, journalists, academics, and media personalities serving Black and African masses seeking to further grow in their understanding of themselves, their histories, and the African world through entertainment and news. Please continue to like, subscribe, and donate to the channel so we can further serve you and liberate our people. You can also go to blkliberationmedia.org, get some merchandise, and also become a Patreon member and a member from the YouTube. Please do what you can, share, and show your love as we will show ours for you. Black Liberation Media.